Hello and welcome to Great Vegan Family. My name's Adam.
I'm Daniela.
And this episode is about why Easter is not vegan. And this has been started by a conversation we had with a family member, so stay tuned.
So can Easter be vegan or not? I don't particularly like Easter. It's not something I've really ever celebrated. But for Jack, obviously, we give children little tiny plastic chicks as decoration, or family members do. There's, chocolate eggs. And with chocolate, you've got the dairy industry. What happens in the dairy industry? I mean, kids don't know about this. They just see chocolate eggs, chocolate bunnies.
Yeah, you got the Lindt bunny, that stuff.
All they see is chocolate, and they don't necessarily know what's going on in the background. For me, that's why I don't like Easter.
No.
But let's have a look at the history and see. Let's find out.
Yeah. So, this is the conversation. Academic rigor, journalistic flair. So, why Easter is called Easter and the other little known facts about the holiday. So, on April the 12th, Christians will be celebrating Easter, the day on which the resurrection of Jesus is said to have taken place, and the date of celebration changes from year to year. The reason for this variation of Easter is it always falls on the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox.
The spring equinox is actually being celebrated this weekend, and that is when spring begins. And if you're watching that following the weekend, we're looking at the 20th of March.
I'm going to skip past this a little bit because it just summarises himself, the person who's writing. So Easter is quite similar to other major holidays like Christmas and Halloween, which have evolved over the last 200 years or so. In all these holidays, Christian and non-Christian (pagan) elements have continued to blend together. So I'm going to go past all this bit because...
Easter as a rite of spring, we've just mentioned that, haven't we?
Because I think it goes into a lot of things about whether it was birth or, resurrection and things like that. So, right, here we go.
Oh, interesting.
So spring also means the coming back to life of plants and trees that have been dormant for winter, as well as the birth of new life in the animal world. Given the symbolism of new life and rebirth, it was only natural to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus at that time of year. So, the naming of the celebration as Easter seems to go back to the name of pre-Christian goddess in England, EaStEr, who was celebrated at the beginning of spring. The only reference to this goddess comes from the writings of the Venerable Bede, a British monk who lived in the 7th and early 8th century, as religious studies scholar Bruce Forbes summarises.
Bede wrote that the month in which English Christians were celebrating the resurrection of Jesus had been called in Old English, thanks for that ad, referring to a goddess named EaStEr. And even though Christians had begun affirming the Christian meaning of the celebration, they continued to use the name of the goddess to designate the season.
So there's things like EaStEr and lots of things that connect with it, isn't there? Like estrogen, like Easter, and things like that. It's been used. And see, there's also connections with Jewish Passover, and there's lots and lots of things we can link dots to. But I think we're going to go into what they're telling our children.
Yeah, what's being told to the younger generation. Let's have a look.
So, God.
Oh
dear. So why do we
straight in with the chicken period?
Yeah. Why do we have Easter eggs and the Easter bunny? So do you want to read this one?
Yeah. So Easter, the most important Christian festival of the year. It's when Christians celebrate the resurrection. Well, we just talked about that, haven't we? Yeah. So they're obviously teaching them about that. The Bible says that Christ died on the cross on a day called Good Friday. According to the Bible, Jesus was then resurrected and came back to life. Okay, we've already done that. So basically saying what we've just showed you.
Yeah.
Okay. So why do we have Easter eggs? A lot of us may chomp on chocolate eggs at Easter, but originally eating eggs was not allowed by church leaders during the week leading up to Easter, known as Holy Week. So any eggs laid that week were saved and decorated to make them Holy Week eggs that were then given to children as gifts. Okay. Victorians adapted the tradition with satin-covered cardboard eggs filled with Easter gifts. This has now developed into the tradition that many people enjoy today. So it's basically the Victorians that brought in a lot of this. Okay. So why are Easter eggs made of chocolate? The first chocolate eggs appeared in France and Germany in the 19th century, but they were bitter and hard. Okay? As chocolate making techniques improved, hollow eggs like the ones we have today were developed.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously they very quickly became popular.
Was it like Fry's? Was it Cadbury?
I don't know.
Roundtree?
No idea.
I think they were the ones that were doing things with chocolate in that day.
So what's the Easter Bunny?
Yeah. What is the Easter Bunny?
So the story of the Easter Bunny is thought to have become common in the 19th century. Rabbits usually give birth to a big litter of babies, so they become a symbol of new life. Okay, so Easter is all about spring, so you can see that connection, new life. Legend has it that the Easter Bunny lays, decorates and hides eggs, as they are also a symbol of new life. Okay. This is why some children might enjoy Easter egg hunts as part of the festival. It doesn't do all the work alone though. In Switzerland, Easter eggs are delivered by a cuckoo, and in parts of Germany by a fox. Okay, so lots of different traditions then. Interesting.
Let's have a quick look at this.
Is there anything else?
Because we've brought up a few different pages just to try and get, a consensus.
Why eggs and chicks though, really? Why little chicks?
I don't know. So eggs and chicks, which come from eggs, well, obviously.
Most children don't really know that.
Are now often the main thing that people think when you say Easter. Having eggs to eat, especially in Easter, comes from the Middle Ages in Europe during Lent in the 40 days before Easter. Most people took part in the fast and didn't eat certain foods, including dairy items like milk and eggs.
So that's interesting, considering these eggs are dairy-based.
Well, the thing is, I don't understand how a traditional thing where you don't eat milk or eggs now becomes this thing where you eat loads and loads of chocolate filled with milk.
Breast milk.
Animal secretions, and
it's very strange.
And then in the shape of an egg.
It's just
it's like twisted. It's completely twisted.
But then an egg, they're saying, represents life.
So then, after eating no eggs for several weeks, there would have been a real treat to eat at Easter when the fast was over.
But how can an egg represent life? As vegans,
it's like,
we know what happens to these chicks.
The thing is, when you, it's like the symbolism in it to me is like you've got this egg which symbolises life on new beginnings, and then you eat it, you devour it.
Yeah.
So there's no life, no more.
But these little chicks are being given to children, and children love animals. They love these little chicks. But do they know what's really happening behind the scenes?
Well, I don't think they do. I don't really think they do.
Do the viewers know, especially, the non-vegan viewers and the family member this week, do they know what happens to chicks, male chicks in particular? I mean, we don't have to show you any footage on this particular occasion, but male chicks in particular are macerated at birth for being male. This in our country is RSPCA assured. That is what happens to male chicks. And this relative does not know this. Another reason why I do not like Easter. The exploitation of babies.
Yeah, basically.
So that's eggs, chicks. What else is involved in Easter?
Well, milk, to make the milk chocolate.
Yeah, so kids don't know about that.
No.
They don't know what happens in the dairy industry.
No, to be honest, I didn't. I'm going to put my hands up here and I'm going to say I was really naive to it, and I didn't even realise that cows needed to be pregnant to be.
I didn't know that.
To secrete breast milk.
No,
I thought it was just something. I just thought it was something that they did. I thought they ate the grass and then they provided milk.
Yeah, because schools and our educators teach us that cows eat grass to make milk. That's what they tell most of us. It came as a shock to me as a vegetarian for 32 years that, oh my goodness, that milk that I drink in my coffee is breast milk from a cow.
And there's also the slaughtering of lambs.
Yeah, but I think while we're here talking about the dairy industry, I think because I have such issues with EaStEr, for those of you who perhaps have not seen what happens to these baby calves that are born, there's a 9-month pregnancy involved, just like a human, just like me when I was pregnant with Jack. They are taken away from their mothers.
Just so that the milk can be put into chocolate.
Yeah.
For your
And this is
Easter eggs.
another reason why I do not like EaStEr.
Right then, let's get into it and have a look.
So please watch. When it comes to chocolate eggs, giving kids these beautiful eggs, beautiful coloured eggs to represent life, new beginnings, but not if you're a cow.
No. Yeah.
So that's the dairy industry. You've also got the other part of EaStEr that I cannot bear. I cannot bear, and it makes me so mad. I really do not like EaStEr. And I really hope I don't offend anybody who does like EaStEr, and and we're all entitled to our own opinions. But for me, EaStEr represents the mass slaughter of baby lambs. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. EaStEr represents lambs. We talk about baby lambs being born at spring, but then you go into a supermarket and you're faced with lamb's legs. People are eating lamb legs for dinner. And they don't think anything about it.
No, they don't really give a shit because they like the taste. So let's get straight into some footage.
And I'm really sorry if this upsets you or offends you. If you're vegan, please look away.
But if you're
not vegan,
this is what you pay for, and this is what happens because you love the taste of it.
You are allowing babies to be killed.
Alright, that's enough of that, because I don't pay for that and I don't want to pay for that.
No. And our son would be mortified to think that he was part of that, because he loves sheep. He loves lambs.
And that was footage of sheep, actually, and sheeps in a factory farm slaughterhouse
in Lancashire,
sorry,
I think
in
it
Lancashire.
Was. Yeah, so
that's
the UK.
Both those videos, the cow and the calf,
and the chicks that we were talking about. Although we didn't show you footage, they're all UK.
But yeah, it's all UK based. So this is like you've got the nice, the chocolate coated
celebration, eggs, family time. Let's get together.
All the rose tinted stuff.
Yeah, rose tinted.
With all this going on in the background. So yeah.
So
this is why we have problems with EaStEr.
So can EaStEr be vegan? Absolutely, yes, it can. Yes, it can. Christmas. Also another difficult time. Yes, it can be vegan. You can have a wonderful roast dinner. You can do whatever you want to do for Easter. You can do chocolate egg hunts if you want with vegan chocolate eggs.
Yeah, there's vegan eggs.
There's loads.
There's all sorts of... I think, is it Gwaine? One of our friends, Gwaine?
Yeah.
He's got, like, all the chocolate eggs, vegan chocolate eggs you could ever wish for.
And do check out his YouTube channel if you haven't already.
Yeah.
He's great. But there's loads of eggs. Loads of eggs. You do not have to pay for dairy industry. You do not have to pay for that.
You can celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, or you can worship EaStEr without having to take life away. So, that I think concludes it.
So yes, you can celebrate Easter as a vegan. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, peace.